Welcome. So today in this video we are going to be talking about dynamic lighting, as I promised in our last video. If you have not watched that, you can check it out. We talked about how to use reference. So today we are going to be looking at dynamic lighting and what it really means, what it entails, and how to use it effectively. So these the common example or diagram that is used to explain lighting. And for the way I draw, I did not add the core shadow. Sorry for that. Core shadow here, because most of the time when I make my art, let me get you an example like this. When I create the rim lights or reflected light, it already creates a nice visual there, so most of the time I don't bother adding the core shadow, especially because of the medium and the line art, so it doesn't get too exaggerated and it doesn't look like an actual painting, because we are animating it, so it should be just unique as it is. So now for our lighting, we have highlight, halftone, core shadow, occlusion, rim light, cast shadow. There are other things, but I think these are the main important things you should keep in mind. Now, what is dynamic lighting? Dynamic lighting is just exaggerating this thing. Is the change of color, change of intensity, change of direction, just to exaggerate your character, to exaggerate your figure, to exaggerate your painting, to create something louder, something subtle, something heightened. You can heighten the emotion and different things you can play with the light. Now let's look at some examples, like this painting here by John Azaro. If you're not careful, you miss the direction of the light, but he's playing with it. You see how the painting look like a flower. The colors are so unique. This is where the light is coming from. You can see the light here, some highlights on her shoes there. You can see the lights here, lights also here, lights on her dress also. And he's playing with the light so well. But also the reflected light here is also here, over here, it's here also, and in the middle there's also a warm light. And this is he's really playing with the painting. He's heightening the color, the intensity, and the direction. Sorry for that. And the direction to create something unique. He's even playing with the cast shadow. If you look at this point, he's playing with the cast shadow also, adding unique colors to the light. And that is something we can play with. This is an actual image reference. You can also look at a lot of photographs, especially those where the photographer is trying to be unique. You can see how he's playing with this image, and it creates a nice feel. It pushes that sadness, that subtle, like she's thinking. It heightens the emotion in the painting. It's not just a picture of a lady thinking or sad. It gets your attention, but not only that, the plane of the light, the color, the intensity, the direction it's coming from also plays with our emotions also. So that is something we should push for. Let's look at another example. This is also another of work by John Azaro. You can see the way he's pushing. I hope this is not AI, but I think I've seen this before. You can see the way he's pushing the painting, and the idea is to go beyond this. Everybody understands this, and it's the without much of the reflection is the natural light. But our jobs as artists is to break nature, like something Glenville will say, they will say, learn the rule, then after learning the rule, break the rule. The idea is to know this, then manipulate this. This Jesse Leyendecker. You can see the way he's playing with the light. If you are not careful, because of his unique style, you miss some these reflected lights here. You miss all these reflections he's adding to the painting. So we need to be observant of all these unique decisions, also when making our painting. So now let's quickly do a demo so you see what I'm talking about. So let's create, I like to add a background, and let's create just a circle, and then let's fill our circle. So I'm filling the circle. It's just you can fill it with any color you like. And I'm filling mine with it's like a flesh tone. I'm taking out the leaks. Some lines went past some of the painting went past through the line. And this is just the way I work. So now let's get our multiply layer and let's add shadow. And it's not that difficult. This is exactly how I paint. When I used to make traditional digital painting, you know, that the painting I showed them in the last video. When I make stuff like that, it's I don't use multiply and all this blending mode. I just go straight. I hardly even use layers. I just go straight to the painting. But when I started doing this, I started playing with the multiply layers, overlay. So because it helps in creating different effects in animation. So what I normally do is I come here, I use the airbrush to clean out that strong edge, and then remember we are trying to play with the unique light. I come in with overlay, and let's add a nice light and see how unique it's becoming. And this is exactly what I'm doing for a painting like this. Exactly the same process. So now we have a nice reflected light, and I can come in and put still on overlay, a nice light on the front, the top for direct light source. Now I'm cleaning this just to make it appealing. And then our cast shadow, which will be on multipliers, but this time I'll take a darker color. You can see how it looks. Now this is not a figure where I'll play with the emotions to create something new. This is just a ball sitting on the table, so you can already see how it looks unique. So that is the whole idea. Then one thing about dynamic lighting, another level you can take it to is to add in colors that are not even on the scene. Surely you know how cinema works. You find a way to add different um, direction, light source to the image. It might be from a lantern, it might be from a light bulb, it might be just find a way to add something unique that helps to exaggerate the story you are trying to tell. Never forget that it's all about the story you are trying to tell. Never go past that, exaggerate towards that. So I might come in, add another overlay, and maybe a color that is not even there. And this is something I do. Can add green, and I'll come in with this and just take them out. But you see that sweetness has already been added. And I might push it over here also. And when the viewer looks at the painting, he wonders like, well, that is really looking good. It's really looking nice. Then you start thinking of the direction of the place, rather the point of the light source of the image. Like you can look at this painting, the eyes you are seeing is just a line. You can see this reflected light there, and they are all coming from this point. That's why you see this whole part here is pushing. This is where the light is coming from, and it's bouncing under the bottom of the fish, under this fish too, under here, and it's fully reflected on the body of the character, on his skin. So take note of that. Dynamic light is not something, is not magic. It's just playing with the color. Learn how to play with the color. We'll also talk about that in other videos. Learn how to play with the color, learn how to play with the direction and the intensity. If I'm making an art, you can see this when I made a painting of using the Leyendecker. So you can see the way in this head, that is the same exact thing I did. Added more strong hot light to the face, into the hand here to create a nice feel to the painting. If you look at this food here, you might think maybe I touched it multiple times, but did not do that. Let's look closer into it. It's just a ball, our shadow, reflected light, highlights, and that's all that is. So make sure you learn to play with these things. Look at references and learn to manipulate them, learn to bring them into your painting. Don't fall for the idea of just replicating the master's work. Learn to get the logic behind what they do, and then you put it into your own work. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check on the next video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.